Authorities are investigating the cause of a Gering house fire that claimed the life of a local resident. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, one person has died following a Thursday afternoon house fire in Gering. KNEB News Director Scott Miller was on scene and talked with Gering Fire Chief Nathan Flowers about the blaze.
If you would, Nathan, kind of give us the rundown of what we had happen here.
There was a report of possible smoke leaving a structure. When we arrived, our first engine with 6 personnel happened to notice that there was fire coming out of the windows and the doors, smoke that was coming out of the windows and the doors. We did an evaluation at 360 and made entry. At that point, we were found with heavy fire and heavy debris from knockdown and stuff like that. So the fire eventually self-vented. We were able to get out and at that point do a defensive tack until we were able to get back in there. Once we were able to do a quick knockdown, we went back in interior and was able to extinguish the fire. I think total it took us about 30 minutes to get the fire under control, and we're currently in mop-up stage.
What time was the initial call?
I don't know.
You can be approximate.
2-ish, 2:30-ish.
Okay. Anybody inside? Any injuries? Anything such as that?
We weren't able to identify anybody initially. There was one occupant that lived in the structure. We did find the occupant deceased in the structure. We have turned it over to the fire marshal's office as well as the Gering Police Department. Luckily, nobody else was hurt from us, but there was one unfortunate fatality.
Any ideas as far as cause at this point?
No, at this point, we're still doing an investigation to determine what the cause was. We're trying to narrow down the origin, but we won't have that for a while. Yeah, please put our thoughts and prayers go to their families. We won't release anything until cops will do all of the investigation, release all that stuff. So, yeah, we were confronted with heavy fire and heavy smoke, and we weren't able to make entry. It self-vented and basically was able to produce a large amount of fire real quick. Once we got that knocked down, we went back in entry and did some primary searches. So.
Where was the deceased found? Bedroom or could you tell as far as where in the structure?
At this point, I can't give you that information.
Okay. I know more
information later.
Oh yeah, I know. They're in the midst of an investigation, so sure. I understand it. All right, thanks, Nathan.
I will.
Well, Unified Command announced during their Thursday afternoon update that the Panhandle has seen 215 new COVID cases, 0 confirmed deaths, and 26 pending deaths since last reporting on Monday. The Panhandle has seen 764 active cases in the past 14 days, currently with 36 active hospitalizations. PPHD's Tabby Prochaska says COVID vaccines are making their way to the Panhandle and should be ready for frontline workers as early as next week.
Yeah, we are very excited. We do have vaccines coming next week, and there's a lot of misconceptions, some around vaccines, and we wanted to put out an FAQ and give you the details. We understand that some people may be nervous about the COVID vaccines. Theirs is totally reasonable. Fortunately, researchers have been working on vaccines for the coronavirus family for years.
You can find the FAQ sheet by going to their website at pphd.org. Well, coming up after the break, Bill Boyer's in with your weekend weather forecast. We'll have that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, we realize the way people want to bank in the future may be different than it has been. As comfort levels and desires vary by person, banking may be different for some, yet not for others. We offer the best of both worlds, a traditional banking experience with our friendly tellers and an online or mobile banking option with features that you can personalize and utilize anytime, anywhere you go. So you can bank how you want, when you want, and from where you want to. Platte Valley Bank.
Hi, I'm Michelle Perkins of ReMax Regency. After branching out, I've returned home to my roots, to the land from which I came and my family has held for 5 generations.
Michelle truly understands what home means and treats you like family as she guides you through the buying and selling process. bringing the latest pricing tools that are not currently being used in this area to sell your home at the highest price in the least amount of time, and to ensure that you do not overpay when buying.
So just give me a call, kick back, ReMax, and settle down.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, we're going to be dealing with mainly partly cloudy skies and mostly clear here to start the evening. A few clouds off and on, and then sunny skies coming our way starting tomorrow. And it is going to be a windy and warmer weekend. By midweek, I think we'll be cooler. There's not much in the way of snow chances, so we really don't have any major travel concerns. But we do have a pretty strong system coming in the middle of next week, but it looks like it's mostly going to be dry. 53 yesterday after a morning low of 15. Nothing in the rain gauge, half of where we should be. We had at least a trace today, primarily from some light snow and freezing drizzle we had out there this morning. We do have a couple of things here. We have a high wind watch that's been posted for Sunday for the eastern counties here of Wyoming. Again, this includes eastern portions of Laramie, up into Goshen and Niobrara counties. Winter weather advisories there in the higher country as we go through the day tomorrow as well. 36 right now in North Platte, 36 in McCook, 43 in Hayes. It's like 34 up in Sioux Falls. Temperatures here locally in the upper 20s and low 30s. Not much happening, and winds have come down a little bit, still in the 10 to 20 mile an hour range, and that's dropping wind chills into the teens and 20s. Unfortunately, that wind did not help make it feel any warmer today than what it was. A few high-level clouds throughout the early evening and early overnight hours. Those will thin out and will turn mainly sunny for tomorrow. Temps tonight going to fall down into the teens for most of us here across the region, 20 in Kimball. Now, as we go to tomorrow, we're going to start the day with sunshine and probably going to end the day with sunshine as well. Just a few clouds moving through in the middle portion of the day. That's it, but they're going to be blown around by winds that are going to be 20 to 30, gusts 40, maybe to 50 miles an hour, even stronger winds in eastern portions of Wyoming. And it looks like highs tomorrow going to be in the 40s, near 50 in Oshkosh, but only 38 in Sydney, a little colder in that area. Precip over the next 36 hours, none of that coming, and there's no snowfall coming either, so it's going to be fairly quiet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, 19 for a low. For tomorrow, how about sunny skies, partly cloudy, we'll call it, windy, 46 degrees, but look at these winds, 20 to 30, gusts at least to 40. It'll be another windy day on Sunday, highs in the low to mid 50s. Same situation on Monday, which is the first day of winter. Then windy conditions return again Tuesday, near 60, and then we'll cut that in half on Wednesday. Right now, though, as you look at Christmas Eve there, breezy in the upper 40s and near 50 with sunshine returning there for Christmas Day. At least as of right now, things look to be dry through most of the 7-day forecast.
Many people count on space heaters and electric blankets to help stay warm in the winter. Here are a few safety tips. Space heaters need space all around them. Only buy space heaters that are tested and labeled by a national recognized facility. Before using a space heater or electric blanket, inspect the cord for cracks or warm spots. Finally, turn off electric blankets when not in use. Space heaters and electric blankets can provide needed comfort or can be deadly if not used with care. So use caution this winter season. This message is brought to you by Chimney Rock Public Power District, your touchstone energy partner, the power of human connections.
The holidays are a time to connect with family, with friends, with each other. After a busy year, the holidays are a perfect time for laughing together, playing together, talking together, and celebrating together. Spend time this holiday season connecting with the people that mean the world to you, and let us take care of the connectivity.
Good evening, I'm a newsman, so I speak only in this voice. Even when I say things like homemade onion rings go yum-yum in my tum-tum. More at 10.
back. Nebraska Attorney General Doug Peterson has joined a bipartisan coalition of 38 attorney generals in suing Google for anti-competitive conduct in violation of the federal Sherman Act. The states allege that Google illegally maintains its monopoly power over general search engines and related advertising markets through a series of anti-competitive exclusionary contracts and conduct. Peterson said the issue really hit him during a conference in 2018, as well as comments by a former Google CEO about 10 years ago.
We know where you're at, we know where you've been, and we can more or less know what you've been thinking about. That's kind of a creepy concept, and I think it's part of what our concern is. And whether antitrust law can address that is an issue. But I do think in the bigger scope of things, we do fully understand how important data is, accumulation of data, to have that type of power.
As a result of what they say is a monopoly, the attorney generals say Google has deprived consumers of competition that could lead to greater choice, innovation, and better privacy protections. They say it's too early to know what the remedy is, so at this time the suit does not seek a specific resolution. Well, the December school board meeting was the final meeting for Scottsbluff board members Bob Kinsey and Terry Gilliland, who were recognized for their service to the district as members of the Board of Ed. Kinsey served on the board for over 20 years, serving as president of the board for a large number of them. Gilliland served on the board for 8 years and has been a teacher, coach, administrator, and activities director during his 46-year span in education. And in a year of above-average angling pressure, the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission recently certified 3 state fishing records, including one by a panhandle man. This week, Game and Park officials say Sean Richter of Sydney caught a 5-pound, 7-ounce tiger trout on a jig at Sutherland Reservoir back on November 8th to set a rod and reel record. The fish, which was 22.5 inches long, beat the previous record by more than a half of a pound. Well, straight ahead, Jason Jorgensen and Sean Callahan talking all things Huskers. KNEB.TV News will be back right after this.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn Suites front desk.
I've struggled with my weight since I was 13, but weight loss surgery changed my life. I've lost 120 pounds, 80 inches, and gained a whole new outlook on life.
Weight loss surgery may be the answer to your weight and health problems. Regional West offers the support of skilled surgeons and a dedicated bariatric team for your journey to a healthier you. Learn more about weight loss options at Regional West. It's time for a new you.
Home buying is filled with decisions. Neighborhood, floor plan, fenced yard. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home. Home buying is filled with decisions. Square feet, fixer-upper, room to grow. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home.
It is once again time for Husker Chat, brought to you by Newcomb Diesel of Kearney. I'm Jason Jorgensen. We're once again joined by Sean Callahan, the publisher of Husker Online. Well, Sean, here we are, final week of the regular season. Certainly last Saturday, another disappointing one for the Huskers at home against Minnesota. For whatever reason this year, Nebraska, for the most part, other than the Penn State game, was not a great team this year at home.
Yeah, 7-point loss, but it just felt worse than that. Obviously, Minnesota could have scored one more time, so really a 14-point loss when you look at the final numbers. But just the way that they fell apart there. I mean, Nebraska had so much promise in the second quarter. Their first possession of the third quarter, they got all the way down in the red zone, missed the field goal. And then from that point on, they only had 4 more possessions the rest of the game. And I thought the stat that really jumped out to me, and I asked Coach Frost this after the game, they went 0 of 8 on their final third down plays. Now, one of them was a penalty on Ethan Piper, so that ended that third down conversion. But they went the final 31 minutes of real-time football without converting on a third down play. And you're just not going to win any football games, Jason, especially when you're not a home run offense, and Nebraska is not a home run offense.
How about the issues with the offense? I think that has been a surprise for some folks. Yes, we knew there was some youth on this offense, but I mean, this is what Scott Frost was brought in for. One of his trademarks was his offenses that he had at Oregon and Central Florida, and to this point, it's not clicked for Nebraska. Certainly didn't this year.
Yeah, the book is really out on how to defend Nebraska. Right now, Minnesota, according to Pro Football Focus, did not blitz one time on 27 dropbacks on pass plays. Nebraska, really didn't have anybody coming at them, but teams drop everybody back, 7 or 8 guys in the lower short passing areas. They take away the underneath stuff, and if they give you something, it's just going to go for 3 or 4 yards. Nebraska was 0 of 4 on throws of 20 yards or longer, and that's been their problem. They have not been a good deep throwing team all year. I mean, that's been an issue from week 1, and I don't know why that is. Is it the receivers? Is it the quarterback? Is it both? And then their early down run plays, Jason, have been so inconsistent. They'll get a good one here and there, but there's just so many no gain or 1 or 2 yard type plays, and their offense really has trouble finding that identity, especially if they struggle on that early down play.
Now, whereas the offense has had some struggles, the defense, you can make the point, has been a little bit better. They've at least shown some progress this year, and I guess that has been one positive.
Yeah, and I hate to be an armchair quarterback, but honestly, Jason, they won the toss. I would have deferred if I was Nebraska. I would have put my defense on the field first. They're playing better than the offense. And my thought on Saturday was put Minnesota's offense out there first, put them into the wind, knowing they hadn't played a football game since November 20th. They're going to probably have a pretty hard time on that opening drive doing much. So then you'd hand the ball right back to your offense, hopefully, maybe with a better field position to start the game, kind of like what they did at Purdue when they won. So instead, Nebraska won the ball, and that 9-yard loss, that is such a big play within the game because the field position differences that makes long-term on the opening portion of that game. But I do think the defense played well. They just tired out. I mean, you go back to my third down stat, Jason, when your offense goes 0 of 8 on their final third down plays, that's putting your defense out there pretty quickly. And I think Nebraska's defense held up, but by the end, they ran out of gas.
Today on Husker Chat with Sean Callahan, brought to you by Newcomb Diesel of Kearney, where, well, taking a look back at Nebraska's struggles against Minnesota. One more game, at least here in the regular season, 2-5 Nebraska at 3-5 Rutgers. You have to be impressed with what Greg Schiano has done in his first year there. They're much improved. You go up and down that roster, you look at their statistics, he's done a nice job.
Yeah, Greg Schiano, I mean, there's a lot of guys that have done a good coaching job. Tom Allen at Indiana is going to probably be the coach of the year, and rightfully so. I think Kirk Ferentz has done an outstanding job navigating the 0-2 start and then all the trouble they've had to finish 7-2. But this is right up there. Rutgers winning 3 games. Nobody had that. And, they beat Michigan State. They've beaten Maryland. They almost beat Michigan. They beat Purdue on the road. So they're doing stuff we haven't seen Rutgers do since they've joined the Big Ten. And it just tells you what a good coach can do it for a program. I mean, he's really ignited confidence. He's got a good offensive coordinator in Sean Gleason. They run a lot of trick plays and gadgets. So they do a lot of things to give you problems. And, I think their players there have obviously bought in.
How do you feel the Huskers match up in this one with them?
Rutgers got beat up pretty good. I was listening to Greg Schiano this week against Maryland. He said, as a coach, he's never been on the field more for injuries than he was last week. So I do think they are getting Rutgers at a time where they're fairly beat up. On the flip side, Nebraska is going to be without Brennan Hymas. They're going to start a true freshman at left tackle and a redshirt freshman at right tackle, and Turner Corcoran and Bryce Benhart. So they're going to be young on the O-line. Think about it, Jason. 3 freshmen, 1 sophomore, and 1 senior starting on the O-line on Friday or for this week's game. And so there's a lot there, but it's a game Nebraska's favored by about 4 or 5 points. I think they can win. The problem is it's so hard to figure out Nebraska as They've been favored twice this year out of 7 games. They've lost 2 of those games. Their wins against Penn State and Purdue, they were underdogs and they won. So it's so hard to read Nebraska right now, because when you think they should win, they lose. And when you think they're probably going to lose, they win. And that's just been this season in a nutshell.
Going forward, as we look into the off season, if Nebraska doesn't play another game or go to a bowl, what's the top thing out there for you when Scott Frost looks at this program that he has to address this off season?
Why is the offense broken? I mean, why are they at this point? Is it running back, receiver recruiting? Is it development? Why have the quarterbacks regressed? I mean, what are the issues with this offense, and why is it at where it's at? Because if Scott Frost doesn't have offense, he's not going to have success here. He was brought here for his offense, and that's been the hardest thing to figure out.
All right. We'll see what happens this week with Nebraska at Rutgers. Sean, as always, thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks, Jason.
And that was Sean Callahan, the publisher of Husker Online, joining us once again for Newcomb Diesel's Husker Chat. Glad to have you along. I'm Jason Jorgensen.
Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can focus on what matters most. Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can earn more, save more, and do more.
When you call Gearing Valley Plumbing and Heating, you will have options. Repair it, rebuild it, or update it. Whether your furnace stops working or your bathtub won't drain, Gearing Valley Plumbing and Heating provides the services you need to be comfortable. Weekends, holidays, or late nights, we will be there. With over 30 years of service, our certified technicians and cutting-edge technology can keep your systems running at their peak efficiency. Gearing Valley Plumbing and Heating, every time we enter your home, we leave it a better place to live.
For the past 44 years, Platte Valley Vacuum and Sewing has been serving the Nebraska area. That's quite a long time. At Platte Valley Vac and Sew, you'll find quality sewing machines, quilting and embroidery machines, even sergers, from name brands such as Pfaff and Baby Lock, both known for their well-made machinery. Keep in mind you'll receive one-on-one lessons with your machine purchase. Platte Valley Vac and Sew also offers a fine selection of 100% cotton quilting fabrics and a great selection of threads and notions to assist you in most any quilting or embroidery project you might have. For all your sewing machine quilting needs, stop by Platte Valley Vac and Sew, downtown Scottsbluff.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a peek at what's happening on your weekend community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
At Platte Valley Investment Center, we believe in personalized planning for your financial goals.
As your retirement income partners, our concern for your success, combined with resources from Raymond James, can help you make confident decisions for your financial future.
Our team of financial advisors will help you make your money work just as hard as you did to earn it. After all, our goal is to help you reach your financial goals.
Call me, Jody Rosiska, or Kevin Fig, Financial Advisors, to set up your free, no-obligation pre-retirement review.
And finally tonight, Western Nebraska Community College will be offering a new program next fall to help meet demand for workforce in some of the region's leading industries. The Board of Governors on Wednesday approved a new diesel, truck, and heavy equipment technology program intended to meet the needs to fill positions in construction and agricultural medium to heavy equipment repair, as well as addressing generalized diesel truck technology. WNCC Dean of Instruction and Workforce Development Educational Services, Dr. Charlie Gregory, tells KDB News instruction outlines have already been created using a unique method which draws skill set knowledge directly from those in the targeted local industries.
It was not the general managers, although they have seen the curriculum. When we built the curriculum, we were working with the lead technicians, the service managers, those that are actually doing the job in the region.
Gregory noted there was already considerable demand for such instruction among area high school students, as a September survey this year found more than 30 students at Gering, Scottsbluff, and Morrill high schools expressing an interest in the proposed program. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be off all of next week for the Christmas holiday, so stay safe out there. We'll see you back here on the 20th.